Another slay. Another slay. Another amazing episode. We are, of course, back to recap The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 6, Episode 6, Out of Gas. And I just wish the episode kept going longer and longer because I was not out of gas. I had more in me to watch.
It was so good. And I am so lame for this. Like, I am forever in the fourth grade. Like, I'm sorry, I love a fart joke. So, the whole episode being called out of gas, it was so funny. But I'm with you. I'm still running.
I'm still running and I have a lot more in me, and I cannot wait for next week when they're on charter. Oh my gosh, we're about to be fed.
Okay, so real fast, and I think this is actually going to work out. So, friends, we're going to be out of town next week, like
Yeah,
literally in
we
the
are.
air right now when we're going to be recording and we're going to be adjusting. We're going to be going to Los Angeles. We're going to be giving you guys a double episode, and I think it's going to work out because I have a feeling this charter episode is going to be a pair. So
True.
we will miss you guys next week. We hate that we're missing a week, but we're going to double up the following week and just get down and dirty on that charter.
Yeah, so we're really excited about that little editor's note, but we have so much to discuss. So let's jump right into episode 6.
Oh, we started off. Can we talk about the diabolical
It's
scene?
diabolical.
Diabolical. If you don't already know what we're talking about, like how, but we're of course, talking about the ice cream sundae scene heard round the world.
Yeah.
Bronwyn literally saying she hates when Todd takes the singular cherry from the dessert. 9 seconds later, what does he do?
Well, you can tell he's not actively listening there, so he probably didn't even hear Bronwyn say it. He probably tuned that out, but I thought that that was an instant divorce maker for me because it's not even this so much the fact that you ate the cherry after I literally just said that's my favorite part of this experience. It just goes to show you don't consider me. You literally don't consider me. Did they not ever watch that old Jif commercial back in the day where the kids like put the peanut butter on the toast and then one kid splits it in half and then the other one gets to pick which one they want? It's called consideration, Todd, and you are old enough to know what that is. Sorry.
Boom. Love the GIF reference. I mean, yes, yes to that. And that was instant jail. Instant jail. You're locked up. You're locked up. So I have questions about Todd. Obviously, he hates this, and he's allowed to hate this. Why does she keep on putting him on camera? At some point, why, like, he is not the person to, she wants to record with him. He doesn't want it. Like, stop. He hates it.
Oh, okay, but devil's advocate, if she did not film Todd anymore, you don't think people would complain? Why doesn't
No, you're
Bronwyn
right.
have to, so like
No, I get that.
I
Totally
get
get that.
I agree that Todd could not want to be in that room less. However, like I feel like she has to continue filming with him because it is a part of her story. It just is such a bummer that he doesn't put on. Like just put on for a few minutes. And at the very end of the episode when they were talking about going him not wanting Lisa or him not wanting Bronwyn to go on the boat, he was like, "Why do you hang out with these women?" And that's it clicked in my head. I'm like, "Todd, do you realize that this is her job?" Like she's actually filming for her job. I don't know if that's like resonating in his head. He's like, "Well, why are you hanging out with these women?" It's her job. Like I'm so
Right.
confused. Like she has to.
That's the disconnect. I don't think he
Yes,
considers this a job
he
because she doesn't
doesn't.
need a job.
No.
She doesn't need this. She wants this. And that is boggling to him. I feel for Todd in the sense that I have a husband who, like, we like different things. I see women with their boyfriends, husbands, whatever, when I go see the Backstreet Boys, New Kids on the
Yeah.
Block, whatever. And sometimes the guys are into it and it's like, good for you, fun.
Yeah.
Other times the guys are sitting there miserable. And I'm like, I would just never do that to my husband. Like, I'm not going to have fun if my husband's sitting there like this. So I go without him. Just, but I'm also not a housewife and don't have people counting on me for a storyline.
No, 100%. And I'm with you there. Like whenever I do go into spaces that I'm like, why would a man be here? And I see like someone bringing their like part or their boyfriend or husband or whatever, I'm like, I guess kudos to the guy for like not yucking his girlfriend or wife's yum, but still like if you're gonna be miserable with me, to me that brings me down. Maybe as an empath, shout out Chris and Doty, I take on the vibe of the person I'm with. But I'm sorry, if
Right.
I want to have fun, I'm not bringing my buzzkill of a boyfriend with me.
Amen. Amen, sis. So yeah, ice cream shop goes straight to jail. Bye, Todd. You're locked up. That was diabolical.
Diabolical. And it,
Diabolical.
but also, like, before we move on from this, it bothered me, and I receive what Bronwin is saying, is that fine if he's not into the woo-woo psychic stuff, you know, whatever, but indulge her in that moment. She was saying, it's not like he told me the winning lottery numbers and I went and cleared out our bank account. I'm just simply saying that he said that you should improve your relationship with your mother and that, you know, something health-wise could be going on. I did crack up, though, when Todd was like, oh, is this his medical opinion? I was like,
I was like,
LOL.
I mean, he put that in check. I
No,
mean,
he
I definitely am
did.
with both of them
I
on
was
that. Like, I
gagged when he
definitely,
said that.
yeah, no, I am a science-based person who can take things in and receive things as given. So, like, I saw both and I was like, yeah, Todd, you're not wrong.
He's
You're not
not
wrong,
wrong.
Mr. Todd.
No, I cracked up and I was like, you know what? I'd have been like, check, please. I can't argue with that. You're right. You know what?
There's no argument. There's no
Single-handedly
argument.
stopped me in my tracks. You're right.
Well, and that's the thing about Todd. A lot of times he is right.
No, he is right.
But we're on a reality show here.
But
And
we're on a
that's
reality
that's
show.
the disconnect. He doesn't, yeah, he is just we are talking two different languages here.
Yeah.
If there was a way to divorce him from this situation, like it looked so evident yesterday that he wanted to be so nowhere near that camera. Bronwyn at the ice cream shop was literally narrating, like, I like to eat the chair. He knows that.
He's a
She's
smart
saying that
man.
for the camera because that's how you get the audience, because Bronwyn knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
And he's like, why are you narrating for the camera?
Okay,
And
so speaking of Bronwyn knowing what she's doing, I saw this theory on social media. I think I reshared it on Twitter if you guys want to go over there. And it makes sense that people are like, they think that Bronwyn allegedly, by the way, intentionally went on the show to set up herself for when she inevitably does leave Todd. And, you know, she'll kind of like stack her coins and tee herself up for that storyline of her like leaving Todd. And I was like, you know what? If I could see that, I could see a world where she's like, okay, I need to set myself up financially. Let me join the show while I still have Todd. And then inevitably, when it goes poorly, no shade, not to be Vicky Kumpelson, talk to me in 5 years, Jim. But inevitably, when it does fizzle out, because how long can Bronwyn not have emotional support from her partner? Like, how long can someone go without being emotionally fulfilled? Know that.
and it's just so true. Like, people go for, a partner that's a lot like their parents.
Yeah.
She married her mother.
Yeah. She did. Sure did.
I mean, I saw this comedian. He said going to his parents, he doesn't get the emotional fulfillment he needs. He compared it to going to the hardware store for milk.
Yeah.
You can go to the hardware store and you're never going to get milk. So just stop expecting it.
Exactly.
And like, there will be peace, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Whereas watching soon after that, Lisa Barlow and John Barlow having a conversation, I thought that was a really great representation of a push and pull, what, you should have in a marriage. Like, I think he listens to her and vice versa.
But will she ever say she's wrong?
No, she won't.
And that's like, this is the thing. And I feel like as I was watching the episode, and I looked it up, she's a 50-year-old woman. I feel like she's kind of just been able, with her charm, her good looks, her wit, all the things that she offers, has been able to get out of these situations because of her charm and admirable qualities. But now all of a sudden, with everything, like, it's happening with her husband, all of her friends see her patterns of behavior. There's no one who's not, with the exception of Meredith. The entire audience, like, everybody sees it now. And I don't know if she knows how to just break. You know what I thought was telling? Every time she cries, she puts her sunglasses on. That is so evident of how she doesn't want us to see her.
And I don't know why, because everyone is begging, pleading, Lisa, show us who you are. Be vulnerable. You're not a perfect person. And when you try to be so perfect, it always almost backfires on you. So just let people in.
I really liked seeing her and her husband. Shout out to John Barlow. It was a great
Yeah.
conversation, but I was not left satisfied. I don't think he was.
No,
I think
there's
it
no
was enough to
closure.
keep, but there's no, I mean, you, when you're in a marriage for decades and whatnot, like
Yeah.
it's not cut dry. It's a process. It's a journey. So that was nice to see, but I am very concerned for, excuse me, Lisa's just general mental health
Yeah.
because we've been watching her. She's crashing out. There's no other way to
A
put it.
hundred
This is the
percent.
crash out of Lisa Barlow.
It is the crash out of Lisa Barlow, and it's hard to see. But something she said when she was communicating with John really resonated with me. I don't think that I'm as delusional as Lisa or as like unwilling to hear people. But when she said, treat me like glass, I'm not that, sensitive, but it does make me feel like I understand where she's coming from because I feel like sometimes I read very strong. I read very confident in that people don't ever have to worry about me necessarily, but it's like, okay, but like I still need to be checked on. I still
Hmm.
need support. And like just because I'm strong and I handle it doesn't mean you can just say X, Y, and Z to me and it'll bounce off my back. So I received what Lisa was saying there,
Clocked.
but on the flip side, and we can segue into Heather's conversation with Lisa at the boutique. Lisa does not think she does anything wrong. And it is so hard. Like I was getting so upset in that at that boutique. And it's like, yes, Angie does hit below the belt, Lisa, but so do you. If you find her mean and nasty, you're mean and nasty. Like there is no difference now between you and Angie. And that's what Mary also was pointing out to Angie. There's no difference now between you and Lisa. You have become the monster that you hated.
Right. And the difference is that Angie listened
Yeah.
and Lisa could not take it in.
No.
Lisa just kept on going back to, well, she started it. Well, she started it. Really, it's like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
At some point, somebody's got to neutralize because, and Todd even said it later in the episode, at the very, very end of the episode, he compared if Bronwyn gets involved in a relationship, friendship with Lisa again. He said it's like getting in the gutter and like throwing muck around at each
Yeah.
other. And I'm like, that they were going low and lower and lower.
Yeah.
And I was just glad that at least one of the two, I love that Heather was there for Lisa,
Yeah.
even though Lisa didn't want it. I mean, she took it, but I don't know if she'll make a change.
Well,
Like
I
she took it begrudgingly.
Correct. And I still feel like Heather at her core does not like Lisa Barlow because, again, I feel like any opportunity where Heather can take whacks at Lisa, she does. I think that Heather just knows it's better to have Lisa as a friend right now than to have her as an enemy. So I think Heather knows the overarching, plot. So I think Heather was like going through the motions and being a supporter to Lisa. And then also Heather has a badge of honor of being blindly loyal. Like I feel like that's her like pride and joy. So I think it would like negate her brand in a way if she did flip on Lisa. Cause again, she rode with Jen Shaw until the very last second. So
Hmm.
I think she's still doing that with Lisa. But again, any opportunity where she can like kick Lisa to other women, she does. She takes it. So that tells me she doesn't actually like her because I don't think she did that with Jen Shaw. For example, when she would talk to the other women about Jen, she would be like, but I love her, but she's my friend and I'm going to have her back. She doesn't have that same energy when it comes to Lisa, in my opinion.
Nor should she.
And nor should she. I'm not snarking. I wouldn't
No, no,
either.
no, absolutely. No. And I feel like she's developed in that way
Yeah.
and she's been obviously hurt. So I think she moves very differently now moving forward.
Yeah.
To your point, I agree that like her brand is to be loyal.
Hmm.
And I like that we're finally at a place where like that brand of being loyal is calling you out to your face.
Agreed.
This is how I feel. We're not going and pigeoning, as they said on New York,
Right.
where they're going around and telling, like, no, I'm not gonna tell you about how I feel about Lisa. Lisa, I'm telling you what you're doing is wrong.
Yep. Yep.
And I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good friend.
And to your point, when you were like, it shows Heather's growth and evolution, you're right about that because she didn't sugarcoat anything to Lisa. Again, she was like, if you think Bronwyn is that, Lisa, how are you not that? Because you're doing the same exact thing Bronwyn is doing.
Hmm.
What's the difference? It doesn't matter who started it. You both are continuing. At this point, I don't know who has started it. I
Nor
really
does it
don't. It
matter.
doesn't
Both of them
matter.
have gone so low and hit so. I hate it when people start going and start digging things for other people about people like that. Just I don't like that culture of the housewives. So
Yeah.
I was really, really happy that Heather said a lot of things. I mean, I really like Heather so much. And while she might not have the storyline, she is such an integral part of this
She is.
cast. Like she really is the glue.
She's the 100% the glue of this group, and I really like Heather too. I do.
Yeah, I think she's great at what she does. So I feel like we've talked a lot about the Mary Angie, part of the conversation from last week that we settled, but the flatulence,
Oh my god.
the fact that Mary was so upset that Angie couldn't tell the difference between a Mary passing gas versus her dog passing gas. This is art. This is high camp. This is just peak silliness.
It
And I
was
loved
so
it.
silly and zany, and or even Angie had to laugh. Like when she was like telling her, she was just like, "Mary, what? What?"
It was truly theater of the absurd. In the close-ups of the dog, it was
Yeah.
just so good. It
It
was so
was
good.
it was so good, but I get what Mary was trying to say. She was like, "All right, we all joked about it together now. Now I feel like you and Bronwyn are laughing at me, and now it's not fun." So I received what I received what Mary was trying to get at with her being like, "Okay, we got it. I said it. Move on."
Yeah, I did it exactly. But she's like, I eat a good diet. I love
Yeah.
that she gets so offended by that. But she's like, I would not do that because I eat clean. Just the way Mary phrases things, like when she walked
Oh
in.
my gosh, I texted Ashley. We don't really talk about the episode with each other prior because obviously we do the show. But I had to text that quote when Mary to her was like, "Thanks for getting the door, because last time I had to walk in." And I was
You
like,
didn't get the door. It's just so
"Yeah,
good. And then later on when Mary when Mary said, being on a boat relaxes me. It feels like getting rocked to bed, but I wouldn't know how that feels because I was never rocked to bed. And she just
yeah,
goes on with the story. I was like, Mary, you are a gem, a national treasure.
yes."
I
And
think she's great on the show.
I kind of mentioned this in a little bit ago, but I also liked how Mary clocked to Angie about how insufferable she's been lately, and she does seem like she's changing and maybe becoming more mean. And so I got what Mary was trying to say. Caveat though, I don't like when Mary weaponizes her friendship to Angie, and I
Hmm.
don't like that at all because it's like threatening divorce. Every time you get into an argument, don't say, "Well, I'm not going to be your friend." Like, I don't like that. It makes me feel unstable. At the same time, though, I understand why Mary does it because she
Hmm.
does feel abandoned and you almost want to leave before the other person has the opportunity to leave you. So I
Hmm.
understand why she does it from a psychological perspective. But on the flip side of that, you constantly threatening not being her friend anymore is going to make her feel unstable in your relationship, and that's not going to make her feel comfortable. So it's like I understand why she does it, but it's almost counterintuitive to her point.
No, that's a really, really interesting perspective.
Yeah,
Love
it
your
just
POV on that.
yeah, it just bothered me, but I understood her because I'm the same way, like in friendships and relationships, not necessarily to that extent, but I don't want to feel abandoned by my friends. And so
Right.
I understand where she's coming from, but like constantly weaponizing leaving somebody is the exact thing she's trying to avoid. So,
That's a That's a really, really good point. And that's a communication thing that they need to
yeah,
work out as friends because I think there's validity in both sides. And that's why
agreed.
that just needs to be communicated. So they know how that triggers each other and how to move forward in a healthy way for one another,
Exactly. And so
protecting
yeah,
themselves.
I thought that was a really productive conversation on both of their ends. And at the end of the day, there's love in that friendship. So I do think they'll be friends, sisters forever. And I hope they are because I love Angie and Mary together.
Right. Well, and the thing is, I'm not even mad at Angie's energy.
I'm not either personally.
But the thing is, at some point, you've got to consider the source. If
Yeah.
it was a source that was more reliable, I mean, look at Lisa Barlow this season. I don't need to say how she's not a credible narrator at this point. She's
Right.
not seeing things in a clear light. If this was a battle against anybody else and Angie got this fired up, I'd be like, you know what? I get it. But Lisa Barlow, she's arguing with a person who's acting insane.
Arguing
And
with
that
Lisa
makes
Barlow is like arguing with a wall. You're not going to get anything off the conversation. You're really just going to be
right,
talking to yourself. Nothing's going to hit, nothing's going to land, nothing's going to absorb.
right.
It's a
And
losing battle.
right. And she wants to protect her reputation, but I'm like, from what? What Lisa Barlow said? And that kind of goes to what they said later in the episode. Heather again called her out. Like, is Lisa the one starting this stuff? Is she the one like behind the scenes, like meddling?
I allegedly could see a world where she is doing that, but I can't. It's just hard for me to imagine Lisa up in her house, like digging up dirt. Like, it's hard for me to envision a grown woman doing that, but it's like, is Lisa behind a lot of these rumors coming to surface?
I feel exactly the same way. Do I see her doing it? No. Is it possible that she's doing it? Yes.
Exactly. Like, I wouldn't ever like offer that, but if someone came to me with that, I would entertain that theory. I'd be like,
Right.
I could see that world.
I
But I also,
mean, if you came to me with a scroll of evidence, I'm gonna look.
yeah, I'm gonna look at it. But again, like, Lisa prides herself on being she is so busy. Like, we see her on the show. Like, there were times you know what? I'm not gonna continue my sentence because I sounded like I was gonna mom shame, but I was not. I was just trying to prove a point that like she's so busy. I have a hard time like envisioning her sitting there Googling this stuff.
Exactly. Exactly. No, I feel exactly the same way. I'm like, the plausibility of that is just so unlikely. I just don't see it, but I do see her as somebody who seeks revenge.
Oh, for
So
sure.
again, there are layers of all of this, and there's only one way to decide, and it's gonna just be to see how time unfolds.
Yeah. Okay, let's pop
She better get
over.
on that damn boat. Like she gets on the boat, right? They're all there,
I
I
don't
think, right?
remember if Mary gets on the boat. I don't remember
Or
seeing
Lisa,
her.
right?
Oh, I'm sorry. Who
Yeah.
are we talking about?
Lisa.
Lisa. Sorry. Lisa's on the boat. Yeah,
Oh,
100%.
thank God.
Yeah, because
Oh,
we
thank
saw
God.
there for the next week's episode, there's a scene of
Oh, yeah.
her walking down the stairs.
Oh, good.
I cannot wait for next week. I love me a charter, and I've always said they need to like do more things with Below Deck in the different Bravo shows because there's just so much opportunity for stuff when you're
Amen.
confined on a boat and there's
Yep.
alcohol. Question for you. What would be on
Yes.
your preference sheet?
Oh my God, I love this question. I would definitely have like a lot of like bougie things like in the bathroom and bedroom. Like
Yeah.
I like nice sheets. I want
Yeah.
nice products waiting for me. Like I like to not pack things like that if I don't have to.
Yeah.
Like in a situation like that, like I'd like that. As far as food, I would definitely have like a lot of fresh fruit and just like whatever's like around.
Yeah.
Like seasonal,
Seasonal. Yeah.
whatever like the nature around there. So if we're like in the Mediterranean, like whatever kind of fruit and vegetables, like make crudités, go catch something from the ocean
Yeah.
and make it. But as far as like comfort foods, I don't know. You're talking to somebody who's just told they have borderline diabetes and high cholesterol. So I am not in a place where I'm
Yeah.
indulging in food right now. So,
Okay.
how about you? What would be on your preference sheet?
So I am not a refined eater at all. So I fear I'm not the person that would like the chef would be like, okay, I guess I can go throw a DiGiorno in the oven. Like that's like kind of me. Cause I'm not like a caviar girl or like I don't like seafood really all like that. So I don't know. I would say for breakfast, I want kind of I would like a spread, especially if I'm not getting up at like 8 a.m. If I get up super early for breakfast, I can't eat like a whole grand slam. But if my breakfast is at like 10, I can. So I would probably would be like, I would like a delectable breakfast, and I would like mimosas in terms of drinks. I would probably pound pina colada. So I'd be like definitely pina colada mix or whatever. I would say fresh fruit for dinner, like a steak or something like that. But I'm very easy when it comes to food. But to the experience, I would want to make sure we have like masseuses at our disposal. I would more want to be like catered to in that regard versus more
Right.
so the food because I'm just not interesting or exciting. But maybe soon we will fill out our own preference sheet.
You know, I was about to say that's like kind of one of my fantasies. Like I
Yeah.
would love to go on some, I've never even been on a cruise because it's too many people, but I would love it if it was not so many people.
Yeah, I'm not a cruise girl. I did watch that documentary on Netflix about that Carnival cruise. Oh
Ooh,
my God.
yeah, yikes.
Yeah, so I'm not a cruise girl, but I would do a yacht for sure with like a close friend group or my family or something. And then I would say my preference sheet would be like just dote on me like I'm the queen. That would
Right.
kind of be my like guilty pleasure in that versus like the food. Because again, I'm not target demo for accoutrements.
I love that.
But okay, so Britney and Olivia, that was a really interesting conversation.
Wow, I wanted to be the lady in Game of Thrones, like shame, 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 like not trying to mom shame, but what the heck, Brittany? How did it take Terrence, the psychic, to get it to click to her to go reach out to her daughter after being a mother, number one?
Yeah.
And number two, having Whitney like literally pound you in the head with the
Yeah.
fact, you're a mother, do your job.
Yeah.
But it took Terrence to get her to go. Like, Brittany, what is wrong with you?
I did
With
appreciate
love.
with love because you guys know we do really like Britney and she seems like such a sweet person who just needs
She
support.
seems misunderstood
She seems
and
misunderstood.
naive.
Yeah, it naive's a really great word. And she's older than me, so it's not like I'm proclaiming to have all this wisdom, but she just seems like somebody that needs our support and our like encouragement and like a hug. So I have a really hard time like slamming her. Like if Lisa was doing this to her children, I would maybe be more critical and I don't know why. But for Britney, I'm just like she's not okay, I think is the difference. And I think Jared knows that and I don't care for Jared Osmond, but I appreciated Olivia adding context to say my mom did used to be the best mom. She did all of those things. And in her second marriage, she just became a shell of herself. And I would be really interested to know what was the mental switch. Because knowing she was that way for her daughters and then she immediately stopped almost overnight, there is something like psychological, I think, that Britney needs to figure out with medical support.
I think, okay, so as somebody, speaking of Britney's, as somebody who loves Britney Spears, read Britney Spears' book twice, listened to it once, read it once, book club, like we did the
Yeah.
whole thing. Oh, look at me drinking out of my Britney cup today. Brittany talks about the book's called The Woman in Me, and whenever she would experience something terrible, experience a trauma, she like went backwards developmentally,
Okay.
but she would always see the woman in her and who she could become, but there were always things that would like set her back. And I feel like I'm gonna hold space for Brittany having something that has like made her go back because like, and I don't mean this in a mean way, but like a lot of her behaviors with Jared and whatnot, that's like kind of like how a 14-year-old, like a middle school girl would treat a
It's
relationship.
infantile in a way.
Right, right. And I really hope that doesn't sound like I'm degrading her,
No,
but those
no.
behaviors are not appropriate for a woman her age. And I
At
wonder
all.
if she drops back to that out of having some sort of trauma because it's just not normal.
No, something had to have happened to your point because yes, like at that age, I like nobody cares if you're dating. Like no one expects you. I mean, I as a daughter, you know, I wouldn't care if my mom was back on the streets, not the streets, but like back out there. Oh my God.
Justice for Imani's mom.
No, literally.
I
No.
know, it's so funny. No,
No, LOL, I'm
we
screaming.
understand. That's hilarious.
No, but like I wouldn't care if my mom was back out there, you know, because like nobody wants their parent, you know, to be lonely or whatever. But I'm just like, and Olivia seems reasonable to me. She really does. Like hearing her speak, it doesn't seem like she wants her mom to be like locked away forever. She just wants her to like want to prioritize her.
And not play tonsil hockey with her stupid boyfriend when
what
she's
the
in the room. Like, what
heck?
the hell is wrong with you?
That pissed me off. The fact that Olivia had 30 minutes between her jobs to come to your house to kind of make some sort of amends with you. And not only does Jared arrive at the same time,
Weird.
which is weird. I would have been like, Jared, my daughter's here. You can come back. But you were making out with him that entire time while Olivia was. First of all, that's just weird in general.
Uh-huh.
But
To
like,
do that, I mean, we're grown ass adults.
exactly. I'm like, that's just weird in general. So I'm
Right.
like, why are you doing that when your daughter doesn't already F with you like that? And she's finally here in the 30 minutes that she has, and you're making out with Jared Osmond the entire time. And honestly, F Jared Osmond, because what kind of man are you?
He
Sorry,
is
that just
no
like
man.
really enraged me. What kind of man are you to not encourage Britney to make amends with her daughters? What kind of man are you to be making out with Britney when her daughter is sitting right there? I can't think of a man that would do that. Sorry, Jared Osmond, you will never know peace as far as I'm alive.
May everybody out there have a great day except for Jared Osmond.
Except for Jared Osmond, grow up. Who
I
cares?
mean,
Your uncle is Donny Osmond. You're not Donny Osmond.
honestly, I mean, you said it, girl. You said it. Shame on Britney for that whole scene. But let me just say, if Britney didn't hear anything else, I hope she goes to bed thinking this every single night. Her daughter saying, my biggest fear is you hurting me again the way you hurt me by leaving me to my own devices. She said she had to go to her dad to talk about getting her period.
And
She has a
that's
mother.
and that's insane to me because I don't get the sense that they were like living in another state. I don't know that for sure, but the concept of her two daughters having to have those like female anatomy discussions with their dad and the thought of Britney being like down the block is just so
Making out
unsettling.
with Jared
Making out with
Osmond.
Jared Osmond. And it's like, huh? And Brittany should have the foresight to be like, wow, my daughter should be about that time where they're probably going to have their period soon. Let me reach out and be like, do you guys need to talk about, like, I don't know. It's just, and even Olivia, at 19 years old, she was like, Mom, I would never do that to my daughters. I would never do that. And she's 19.
She's 19.
I would never do that.
But that's like the normal response.
Yeah.
That's like how you should be as a human being. I would never just somebody who relies on me, somebody who I'm not only legally responsible for, somebody that literally I produce, like you got to take care of them and support them. Why isn't that clicking? Like what in your brain isn't connecting?
I know.
Wires
Hell,
aren't crossing.
I might even prioritize one of my girlfriends over my husband if needed. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not.
Yeah, of course. Yes. Yes.
You know, so I'm just like, that's really sad. And that makes me wonder, like, is Brittany capable of being a really great friend to her friends if she can't even, you know, be a really great friend to her daughters at this point, at bare minimum?
I don't think she even knows how to treat herself. I mean, the
Yeah.
fact that she keeps on going back to Jared Osmond, who's treated her like crap over and over and over and made a fool of her,
Yeah.
a fool of her publicly
And
time and
that's
time
so
again.
embarrassing.
That's what I mean, yeah.
And again, we do not hate Brittany. This is more or less just coming out of love. It's like, girl, stand up, make amends with your
Uh-huh.
children while you can. I think the ball is in Brittany's court. I think Olivia, I don't know if the other daughter cares to have a relationship, but to me, Olivia, girl, you're killing it. The fact that she even had to go to her mom in those 30 minutes, why couldn't have Brittany gone to her place of employment? You know what I mean? So again,
Math ain't mathing.
the math ain't mathing. So
I know
Olivia's
both of us
doing,
are close with our moms. A lot of
yeah.
people, if you don't have a mom, a family member, whoever, somebody close in your family, I just can't imagine not supporting somebody like that. Like, imagine your mom. Like, my
No.
mom is so close to me. Like, the idea of not, like, that's just literally wild to me. It's beyond comprehension to me, to be honest.
You know what I also wonder? Where are like the grandparents in this situation? Because I don't know if Brittany's mom is still around or if she's even close with her mom. That's actually a really good question that I would love to ask. Like, I'm curious the dynamic between Brittany and her mom.
Right.
But no one's checking Brittany. Like, there's not like a person being like, Brittany, you need to stop. You need to go make it right with your daughters. Like, because I feel like if my mom ever did that, my grandma would check her. So I'm like, there's no one in Brittany's life to check her or to like, put things in perspective outside of Whitney Rose,
Well, who's not even her friend?
who's not even her
It
friend.
was like casual at best. I mean,
Exactly.
yeah.
So there's
like,
no one in Brittany's orbit who actually has her best interests at heart that are not clocking her.
like, who are her friends? Like,
Great
her real
question.
life friends.
And where's her family in this?
Right. Yeah, exactly. And she's a friend of, so we wouldn't have as much
You're right.
background on her, but we also like follow her on social media. And I don't see her going to dinner parties and stuff with friends necessarily that I can think of.
Maybe they don't want this. Maybe they don't want to be in that world. I don't know, but
And that's fair. If you don't want to be on camera, I totally understand and respect that.
no, 100%. So again, we love Brittany and do want the best for her. This is just us speaking from a space of love. If no one in Brittany's life's gonna do it, we'll do it.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
So the last thing we had the Bronwin revelation. She had a confessional where she explained the rumors and the nastiness, but she said two things happened that came up on camera in the media, whatever. There was an eviction notice that was unpaid from BYU. It was a thing she couldn't pay. It ended up
Yeah.
getting paid. And the second thing, which, the episode was just last night, excuse me for not doing more research, but the other one was a case from 10 years ago that was
Yeah.
dismissed and sealed. I don't know what that means. I'm not a lawyer. Does that mean just we don't get to talk about it? If that's true, I mean, good for her. If this is something she pulled on camera to not talk about it, nobody else figured it out, good for you. But as far as I know, that's a legal thing. And I'm like, okay, I guess we can't talk about it because we don't really know. If it's
You know
something
what
that's
we
sealed,
need?
like, what's that?
A clarity luncheon. That's what we
Please.
need.
I have an announcement.
Tink,
We're going to
tink,
be,
tink.
I have an announcement. We have a clarity luncheon scheduled. You know
Yeah.
what we do? But if she's not legally allowed to talk about it, she's not legally allowed to talk about it. And that's
Honestly,
where the sentence ends.
that satisfies me. I don't
If it's
care.
closed, that's the
Yeah.
story.
Like, I don't care for this to be like a 5 episode arc about Bronwyn's leak. I don't care. It happened 10 years ago. Honestly, this might be a hot take. Unless it's topical, i.e., like a Wendy Osefo or like the Erica Girardi thing happening in real time while you're on the show, I don't care about past law stuff. I'm going to be so honest. To me, it's so boring. I don't understand it. Unless it's something so egregious that happened in your past, I don't care. It's just not a fun storyline to me because I just don't understand it. And it's dismissed, it's over, or whatever the situation is, just doesn't move a needle for me.
I'm not moved by it. I took it for what it was. She didn't pay something in college relatable.
Right.
Hi. I mean, did I pay all my debts in college? No. But that's life and you
Yeah.
learn. And whatever happened, it's a sealed deal. So that means it's over and that's it.
Yeah. It's like,
Sorry, I
okay,
mean, I just don't feel like there's anything salacious. Like, I don't think that there's this
no.
like big nefarious thing like lurking. I mean,
And honestly, I feel like once you are of a certain age or and you're in the spotlight, I feel like there's bound to be some sort of legal, buzzword thrown around at some point. Like, I'm quite sure every single person on that cast probably has a lawsuit forged against them or some sort of legal issue that they've had. I would be shocked if there wasn't, honestly.
exactly. No, exactly. I felt it was a nothing burger. I really hope
Yeah,
this doesn't go anywhere. I'm like, okay,
I'm
well,
sure it
case
will.
closed. That's the thing. Like, I really hope they stop. Just production, if you're listening to us, let actual like things happen on this show rather than stuff. Like, you're right, digging things up from the past that have no relation. It
To
just doesn't make sense.
it's irrelevant at this point. And I think that's what OC is running into is stuff that happened off camera. No, like it's really hard for us to be in it when it's something that we didn't see. Cause it's
Right.
like, well, okay, it's like an inside joke that we're not in on. So it's so it doesn't land for me to have drama that is not seen on the show.
I agree. Yeah. So I'm kind of done with this Bronwyn thing, ready to move on.
Yeah.
I like her. I'm infatuated with the story of her and Todd.
Yeah, me too. It's interesting.
Yikes. The
Yeah.
dynamic with her mom. I find her to be very, very interesting and a very good housewife.
Yeah.
So
So that concludes our season 6 recap. As Ashley mentioned at the top of the episode, unfortunately, we will not make our week next week. We will be in LA, which is also really exciting. So we will come back for a double feature the following week to recap the Charter from Hell. I'm sure it's going to be. Ashley, where can they find us if they want more?
there is tasteofreality.com. Don't forget that.
And we have
Socials.
live discussions every night when something's happening.
Yeah, anytime one of the shows is on, we're watching. The discussion groups are so fun. Socials at taste of underscore reality. And while we'll miss next week's episode of Salt Lake City, we are going to be on our regular schedule. We will have an episode out on Monday, recapping the week. Actually, I think we do have one more episode of that before.
We
So
do.
we'll get to that. Okay, but bye.
Bye, everyone. See you later.